So today I'd like to talk to you about seed collecting. We're going to do some seed collecting of some delicata squash, really nice squash. So there are a few things that are important to remember when you want to collect seeds to plant. When you want to collect them to eat, well, that's a little bit easier. Pumpkin seeds and squash seeds are great for eating. But today I'd like to talk to you about collecting them in order to plant. So a few things to remember. So let's just go right ahead and open up this nice delicata squash. Love delicata, so I like to keep the seeds of some of the good ones, and so there are just a few things. So here we are. Delicata seeds are very small. They're also very delicious. So when you're collecting them, obviously you're just gonna take them out of the middle of your squash, and they are going to be surrounded by a little bit of soft flesh. This soft flesh, by the way, is edible. Most people throw it out, but you don't actually have to remove it all from your squash, because you can cook the soft flesh with your squash because it's edible and it's full of good stuff. And some of it will come out with the seeds. And then get the other side here. This little delicata squash has got a ton of seeds, at least 100 seeds here, maybe. So here we got most of them here. There we are. So now I'm just going to set this aside for cooking. And now here we've got our seeds. Now, as you can see, they're full of this flesh. It's all sticking to my hand and so on. Okay, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to spread the seeds out on this cutting board. And the wood of the cutting board is going to, absorb the juices and so on. And any big pieces of soft flesh I'll remove, because they take way too long to dry. Because what I want to do with these seeds is I want to dry them. So I want to take the big pieces of flesh off, but I'm not going to do anything else with the seeds. I am just going to leave them on my cutting board like this to start drying. And they can stay on this cutting board for about a day, and then tomorrow I'll just transfer them to another cutting board that's dry, and then they'll continue drying, and they'll take a couple days to do that. Now, some people wash their seeds, but you should not wash your seeds. You should leave all of this this sort of juicy residue from the pumpkin flesh on the seeds and simply let it dry, because this residue that's covering the seeds is full of nutrients that will benefit this seed when it's time to plant it. It's also full of nutrients that benefit, let's say, the beneficial bacteria that protect this seed, and whatever other microbiota that may protect this seed, and from let's say the ones that might make it sick, and it will protect and feed the beneficial ones. If you wash them, anyway, some people actually use hot water and so on. They try and sterilize them, but sterilizing and seed, they're a bit contradictory terms. Something that is sterile isn't really going to be very fertile. And so it's important to leave these juices on there, but what you really have to do is let it completely dry. Let the seed completely dry on the outside, obviously, because the inside will therefore be protected. So after a day, I'll just put it on another cutting board, put them on another cutting board, probably a smaller one, because they won't need as much space, because they'll be mostly dry and they'll just have to finish drying. The reason why I changed them from one cutting board to another is because the cutting board absorbs a lot of the moisture, and that moisture takes a longer time to dry out of the cutting board. That's why I like to use a cutting board, because it absorbs very quickly. It absorbs a lot of the moisture. Some people will use paper towels, or any kind of paper. But the thing is, that's disposable. And with the cutting boards, you can use them again and again, obviously, and they'll dry and once the seeds are dry enough, then what I'll do is I'll transfer them to one of these baskets. They have a mesh bottom, and I've got several of them, and I can pile one on top of the other, and this is what they'll eventually look like. And I'll let them stay in there for a few weeks. I'll have a spot for them, maybe up to a month, and once they're really dry, that's when I'll start putting them in my little packets. These ones, this was my label right here. These are Queensland blue seeds. So I'll take my label, I'll take one of my packets, open up my little packet here. They've got to be good and dry. I like transparent packages. Put enough seeds to mostly fill the bag. Voila. And then I'll put my little label in there. Now, I've got a lot more seeds for a lot more packets, so I'll just have to make some more labels for the others, for all these other seeds. So there you go. That's some seed collecting.